welcome back to my studio. I hope you're well. As promised, I'm finally getting around to showing you how I clean my brushes, and I thought I'd start with this brush cleaner on these old brushes that I showed you in the last video. This little one, and I will put a before and after image up. This little one, the bristles weren't moving at all. I've had this soaking in this brush cleaner for a week and it's incredible. The bristles have all separated. There's a little bit of colour left in the very centre. It's a bit hard to show you. A little bit of blue in there. It's become really soft again. I've noticed with these ones I'm yet to clean, they're very tough, brittle feeling, and this is just lovely and soft again. I can't believe that this has brought this back up to being a brush like this. It's just incredible. So let's clean some of these. This one I think I might have to soak because there's just nothing except the tip in that. But let's see if we can get these a bit softer. So what you're meant to just do is get a bit on here and run it through. We'll see how we go. I might have to speed the video up as well. It says to do it on a rag, which I've got under the paper towel. Might just rip through this towel. So it's got a great lather on it, and I can see that the lather is starting to colour up with the paint colour. Can you see there that blue tinge? So it's starting to pull the paint out. I was going to run it on this rag below, but I thought the white of the paper towel would help show it up. Yeah, look at that. Alright, rinse it off a little bit. That's the other thing, it says to run it through like that and then to rinse all the soap out of it. Sorry, I keep knocking the camera. Yeah, it's pulling the blue paint out. This is incredible. These brushes have been like this. I haven't painted with these since I did oils, which was back in 2016. It's now 2022. So that's just an incredible amount of time. Oh, and they're lovely and soft. Already with just that amount, I can feel the softness coming back into the bristles. That's just incredible. I thought these brushes, look, that they were an expensive brush that were a gift, and I thought they were lost. And I've just had them sitting there thinking about trying a brush cleaner. Look at that lather, just a few drops. I've been thinking about using the brush cleaner but didn't have a lot of confidence because they were so bad. But that's just bringing out so much of the colour. That's just wonderful. So what I should have done when I was using these with oils is rag them off like this. When I had finished painting, I should have got as much oil paint out of them as I could, and then I should have washed them, which I'll show you the next process about washing with the soap. Yeah, look at all that blue coming out. That oil paint's been there for absolute years. Getting all super excited. So obviously this water's really sudsy. I'll need to go and rinse them, which I'll do when we go inside, and I'll show you the brush cleaning of how you should at the end of a painting session what you should be doing. But that is definitely how to bring brushes back from the dead. Oh, it's lovely and soft. And all the bristles are separated. And I think I can get a lot more out of that as well. That's fantastic. So I'll be soaking this one, and I can show you in a future video how I go with that. So the paint has just dried and set all of the bristles together. But yeah, I'm thrilled because these are lovely brushes. So I'm really thrilled to have them back. Okay, let's get on to how you clean the brushes. So when you're painting, let's just use this gorgeous aqua green paint from Matisse. When you're using your brush, you should only ever have the paint at the end of your bristles. You can see here where the paint's gone. Where's the light? The paint's gone right deep in. I'll show you on that one that I haven't cleaned. So the paint's all the way down to the tail of the bristles when you're painting, and the idea is that you're only ever dragging your brush when you paint. You shouldn't be embedding the paint in the brush. But hey, depending on how you want to paint, it doesn't matter that you're meant to just drag the paint off the tip like that, holding the brush right at the end, letting the brush help you make your marks. You don't want to have it up here. But hey, if that's how you want to paint and that's how you get a result that you want, use the brush however you want. With acrylic paint, you want to be rinsing it in water really well, ragging it off like this, getting as much paint out as you can, particularly with oil. When you're using oils, you want to rag as much oil off as you can because you want as little going down the sink as possible, and it makes it easier to clean the brush also. So ragging it off. With acrylic paint, you want to really rinse that out really well in some water. You've rinsed it in water, you will still have some residue of paint on there. So then you need to actually clean it with soap. Of course, you can use this brush cleaner as you just saw. It took the paint off really well. But I imagine that soap is a cheaper option. To care for them in this way, you won't need that brush cleaner. So let's go inside and I'll show you how to clean them with the soap. Okay, here we are in the bathroom, ready to wash some brushes. I've bought some extra ones in with a lot of paint on them to give you a really good idea how this all works. Now, I normally just use any sort of laundry soap or hand soap, but as you may have seen in one of my art haul videos, I was given this proper brush cleaning soap, and I found it lathers really, really well. It's well worth getting. This works perfectly fine, but this gets such a beautiful lather up, and I imagine cleans the brushes much better. The other thing you may like to use is a nail brush, a regular brush. Sometimes when you can't get all of the paint out, this can be quite good to run through the bristles, and the toughness of that will just help take more paint off. If perhaps you've been painting, didn't put your brush in the water, or if you're using oils in the cleaner and you have some dry paint on the bristles and the soap won't pick it off, running a bristle brush through, or a nail brush through, can help take the paint away without disturbing the bristles. But basically, you're rinsing off. I'll show you the regular soap first. You're just picking up a bit of soap in the brush and then running it in the palm of your hand. And I'm quite happy here to bend the bristles because I want the soap to get all the way through the brush head. Rinse off. And you're just repeating that until the brushes run clear, or the colour of your soap. So pay attention to that amount of lather compared to the other one. So you can see there was a lot less paint in that second run. You can kind of rub it, I guess, against the sink, but I find the palm of my hand works well. I prefer, because I think it articulates more of the brush. So you can see now that the lather is the same colour as the soap, so all of the paint is now out of that brush. Now what I do is I reshape while it's wet, reshape the brush. And that's ready to dry, and I'll show you how I leave them to dry. But let's get some of the paint out of these ones. So you would rinse it in the water, and let's go with this soap. So you can see I didn't brush it along the soap or pick up much soap, and it's just got a really huge amount of lather on it. You can wear gloves if you prefer, particularly if you've got oil paint that have got the colours that have got the heavy metals and things in it. Certainly you should be using gloves. You don't want to be rubbing any of the paint into your skin, but this acrylic colour is fine. So yeah, a lot more lather, and I think it's going to take it off. Well, the other one was only 3 passes, wasn't it? And this will be the same. Again, so you can see there's no colour of paint in there, and I just reshape the bristles. So this is obviously a flat brush, so I'm not bringing it to a point like the other brush, because did you see when I did that, as it dries it will separate the bristles. So you shape it into the shape of the brush. Shape back into around. That's all our brushes cleaned, and I shall show you the very last step. And here we are back in the studio. The worst thing you can do now with wet brushes is to stand them up. This is how I store my brushes. But the worst thing you can do is when they're wet is stand them up like this, because any water that is in there will run down into this glued area, and eventually it will upset the glue, and you'll start to lose bristles out of the brush. And that can be quite annoying when you're painting, to be cleaning bristles out of off the surface, and you know, it just ruins really good brushes. And like I said, if you're spending a lot on brushes, you want to be doing all you can to care for them properly. So the best is, of course, to hang it upside down. Some brushes have a hole in them like this, that you could easily do that and hang that up. But what I do is generally rest them on something that's slightly higher. And I have some paper towel or some newsprint, and I have them slightly down and onto the paper, and this paper will help draw out any water that's left in them. And you don't want it too much that you're bending the bristle, because when it's dried and you pick the brush up, it'll be in that shape. So enough of a slant that you're able to get the water to run away from the glue. And I don't know if it's picking up. You can see it's already absorbed some water there. Yep, that one not so much, but it's taken the water out of these two. So yeah, that is Brush Care 101. You can certainly buy synthetic cheap brushes and use them a couple of times and throw them away. But why would you add to the amount of waste in the world? Buy really good brushes. You'll find that your paintings will really benefit from that, and it's just a little bit of cleaning afterwards. And like me, you had some brushes that you care about but didn't care for, you can get this brush cleaner. I'm sure there's lots of other products like this. This was just the one that my local art supply shop had in stock, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. As you saw, it bought that just was solid, wasn't moving at all, and just with only 1 week, after what, six years or something of sitting as stiff as, well, it was stiffer than that, because that I can even get the tip of the bristles going. That was stuck solid, and with a week soaking the solution and a little bit of working it through, I've now got that brush back to use. How fabulous is that? Now I can't remember what I paid. There we go, $16.50 Australian for that, and it is made in Australia by Chroma. So there we go. Good luck painting, and I'll see you next week. Bye.